Hello there, you're welcome back to Biology Lectures with Akirele or Dimitri Philip. So, still on the series Human Reproduction, Ks3, Fetal Development and Birth. So basically, we've talked about how menstrual cycle happens, what the gametes are, and all of those stuff. So let's see how the fetus develop. Now, fertilization happens, like we saw, when an egg meets with a sperm cell and joins with it, then fertilized egg develops to become an embryo. Please don't forget this. Now, the embryo becomes attached to the uterus. Then it changes to fetus, and the fetus becomes baby. So it means this is least developed, changes to fetus, fetus becomes baby. Let's check this out right now. So this is an embryo getting implanted or getting attached to the wall of the uterus. So this is the uterus wall. That's lining that's built up for the baby already. So this is, can you see that this is embryo getting attached like that, so to say. So that is implantation. So it says the embryo gets attached to the line of the uterus. It begins to develop into a fetus and into a baby. So let's see what that looks like right now. So it says here, the fetus relies upon its mother. So this is now a fetus now. We actually call it a baby until it is born, so to say. So this is a fetus right now. So there's some few structures you should know here. You won't be really asked, of course, you may not be asked to draw, but I think you know some few stuffs here. So the fetus relies upon its mother as it develops, and some of these things need to be known. Now, it receives protection against shocks and bombs and temperature changes. How does it receive that? Majorly, there's this thing called amniotic sac that contains amniotic fluid. That's not shown here. That fluid is what the baby is suspended. That's when here they say that a woman, the water has broken. That the water has broken. The water broke means that the wall, that happens when the child is about to be born, really. So when the water breaks, the amniotic sac has opened up and the fluid flows like through the cervix to the vagina out of the woman's body. She literally sees that coming out. When that happens, the baby is ready to come, like really ready to come, except when some other things happens. But really, when the water breaks, it means the baby is ready to be born, so to say. So that amniotic sac of fluid, what it does is it serves as shock absorber to the baby. Now, it doesn't mean it can protect it from serious heat, no, but at least to a large extent, so to say. So it protects it against when the woman is probably walking up the staircase, so it suspends the baby. It's like you have fluid like that and you have somebody suspended there like that, so it doesn't hit the wall of the abdomen and all that all of that. Then of course it receives oxygen for respiration. Now at this point, this is the placenta. This part I'm putting line, so that's placenta. So, and this is umbilical cord. So whatever the woman eats, she eats for two. So the food she eats digests, going to our bloodstream. So digested food goes from the bloodstream to the mother. Then the baby also passes out waste products like that, because the point is the baby relies on the mother for everything. So when the woman eats, she eats for two. When she breathes in, she breathes in for two. And when she excretes waste, she also excretes waste for two. So this baby also passes its waste product through the placenta, through the umbilical cord, placenta to the mother also. So that umbilical cord is a two-way thing. Go to the baby and from the baby. I'm going to still explain in details as we move on. So this is a further explanation. Developing fetus also needs its waste substance removed. So the fetus is protected by the uterus and the amniotic fluid, a liquid containing a bag called amnion. So another word for amniotic sac is amnion, and the fluid is called amniotic fluid. So to say, that's the word I told you break, like it just break and go out like that, so to say. Now there's a lot of information here. You need to know this. You'll be assessed this in your exam. The placenta is an organ responsible for providing oxygen and nutrients, and also for removing substances. What substances? Waste product. It grows into the wall of the uterus and is joined to the fetus by the umbilical cord. Now, the uterus blood does not mix, sorry, the mother's blood does not mix with the fetus blood, but the placenta lets substance pass through. Let me show you something real quick. Now, this is to show you how the credit of this goes to baby bite size, BBC bite size. Now, hear this. This part is from the baby. This is the blood vessel of the mother. This is where the mother's blood vessel ends. Can you see? Then there's a villi that connects that. So the blood does not mix directly. So the nutrient coming here will diffuse into this villi and go to the baby's blood. And the waste product coming from the baby diffuses into the villi and goes to the mother. So it doesn't mix. That's why a woman can be HIV positive and her baby is still HIV negative. Yes. So you see, the blood of the mother and the fetus do not mix, but sometimes diffuses across the placenta, because this structure you are seeing is the placenta, because the placenta has the mother aspect in it and the fetus aspect in it, so to say. So let's still go back here. It then says oxygen and nutrient diffuses across the placenta from the mother to the fetus. So the nutrient only goes from the mother to the fetus. All right. And some other product, even though if what you eat is harmful anyways, the harmful thing still goes in there. Then carbon dioxide and waste product goes from the baby or the fetus to the mother. Just know the movement like that. All right. Now it says here, does the life of the lifestyle, so it ought to be, does the lifestyle of the mother affect the fetus? A resounding yes. So if it happens that the mother happens to smoke during pregnancy, then it will reduce the amount of oxygen that is going to be available to the child. Then don't forget that oxygen is what helps us to make energy by respiration. So if oxygen available is now reduced, causing the smoking, that means there will be lesser energy, then the child will be born with low birth weight, or someone can even be born prematurely. Then also, if the woman drinks alcohol during pregnancy, it can harm the baby's nervous system. So it can harm the baby's developing nervous system. Seriously. And I mean, that's the brain and all of that. In fact, sometimes the baby can be a bit sluggish. Yes. But please hear this. It doesn't then mean that any baby that you see, or any child you see at school that is sluggish, it doesn't mean the baby, the boy's mother or the child's mother took alcohol during pregnancy. No, it doesn't necessarily mean that. If other factors are constant, then it could mean that. But there are a lot of factors that can make a baby sluggish, please. It's not just only alcohol that does that. So please don't forget this, that it is good for a mother to keep herself. Now, when we say smoking, there's something called passive smoking. So even if she's not smoking by herself, but she lives around where there's a lot of smokers around, women, is going to still affect the mother's uterus. The fetus in the mother's uterus, so to say. All right, moving on. Now, how many days does pregnancy take? So how many weeks? I mean to say 40 weeks, or you say 9 months, around about 40 weeks. That's called gestation period. So don't forget that gestation period is the period of pregnancy, like that. Now, after this, the baby is ready to be born and the cervix relaxes. If you remember what we were saying, the function of cervix was it holds the baby or the fetus in there. So when the baby is to be born, the cervix relaxes and the uterus contracts and pushes the baby downward like that through the vagina. So let me show you something real quick. Good. So this is what happens. You can see the cervix opens up and baby is born. Then after that, you remove the placenta also. Placenta is delivered like that. This is very, very important. Then the next thing is to show you the sequence. Can you see this right now? You can see this. The cervix is totally tightened, opens up, opens up, opens up, opens up and the baby is delivered, and afterwards placenta is also delivered also. So this is a newborn baby, but sometimes some babies are born prematurely. So when they are born too prematurely, there's even a level whereby it can be so premature that you cannot even use this. But when it's born prematurely, you have to use an incubator. All right, so some babies are born too early and need to be put in a warm incubator. So the incubator keeps the baby alive. Keeps the baby for another some weeks, so that can be matured enough to live independently. All right. So that will be all for now. So in the next video, I'm going to be talking about